Have you ever wondered what a nephron does? Or how urine is created? Probably not, but today I'm going to explain that. We start at the renal artery where blood is taken into the kidneys, then to the renal pelvis, then to the major calyces, then to the minor calyces, then to the renal pyramids where they branch off into arcuate veins and arteries. The veins turn into venules, and then those turn into capillaries, and then they turn into arterioles, which leads us to the first part of the nephron, the afferent arteriole. Unfiltered blood goes through the afferent arteriole and goes into the glomerulus. The glomerulus is held by something known as the Bowman's capsule, which connects to something known as the PCT, which I will talk about later. As the blood goes through the glomerulus, it is getting filtered and ends up going to the efferent arteriole. This is the exit of the blood. This is what is known as glomerulus filtration, or filtration for short. Certain ions taken out of the blood go through something known as the proximal convoluted tubule, or PCT for short. The next step is known as secretion. Ions such as urea, drug ions, and hydrogen ions are secreted into the proximal convoluted tubule. And then something called reabsorption occurs. Ions such as sodium ions, calcium ions, potassium ions, chloride ions, H2O ions go back into the bloodstream. We continue to go down the descending limb of the loop of Henle. Reabsorption reoccurs, and now H2O ions are taken out. Accretion reoccurs when urea is secreted into the ascending limb. Sodium, potassium, and chloride ions are taken out by reabsorption. Now we arrive at the distal convoluted tubule. Secretion reoccurs when hydrogen and ammonium ions are secreted, then reabsorption reoccurs. Ions such as H2O, sodium, and chloride ions are taken out. And then we continue when we arrive at somewhere called the collecting duct. And you won't believe what will happen again. Yes, you guessed it, reabsorption. H2O ions and urea ions are taken out. Then whatever is left goes to the minor calyx, which goes to the major calyx, which goes to the renal pelvis, which goes to the ureter. One thing to keep in mind is the hydrostatic pressure within the nephron. The afferent arteriole has a wider diameter than the efferent arteriole. This means that the pressure is exerted outward from the blood to the capsule. Another thing to keep in mind is the osmotic pressure. This is where the pressure is exerted inward to the blood from the capsule. Last but not least, the two hormones that go into the DCT include ADH and aldosterone. These two hormones help increase blood pressure and concentrate urine. And that's all you need to know about the nephron. Thank you for watching.